Hey Internet, it's me, it's Todd. This is SideQuests Live. We're going to do some Dungeons and Dragons role-playing games today. I'm going to be the DM. Got some people waiting in the wings to be introduced. Quick side note, this is a homebrew based loosely on Taldori and Wildmount from, that guy. Some people know him. So we're going to be doing a bit of a recap, and then we're going to settle in. I'm going to wait for my coffee to kick in, and then we're going to play a game. So I'm just going to introduce around the table first. Quick side note, we do have a giveaway for later on. We also have plot points. So if you're watching live or listening live, you can make a suggestion in chat. We also do hashtag name our stuff, and we're still waiting on Darmita's mom to have a name, so that'll make more sense later if you're a first-time listener. All right, let's go around the table, and we're gonna start with Fenris.
Hello, I'm Gordon, and I play Fenris, your friendly neighborhood shadow sorcerer. He has actually been here since the beginning of episode 1 of this campaign, and he is touched by shadow, and because of that, he's been hunted all his life. And zealotous paladins slew his parents in front of his eyes, and he is haunted because of that, and is now seeking revenge.
All right, and we're gonna hear more about him in flashbacks and all that kind of stuff later on. We'll come back to Benkuhm and Johannes. 2 players couldn't make it tonight, so we'll jump back and explain their NPC and maybe kill them. We'll see. Let's jump over. Oh, we have... did we lose somebody again? Oh, okay, hold on. Jay is joining us back once again. Thanks, Jay, for joining us. Let me just switch these real fast. I can't hear you for some reason.
He's on mute.
Unmute. There you go. I got you, bro.
My shitty intro there. Oops, sorry, I said shitty.
It's
anyway.
Okay. We do use grown-up words, and we even have the warning for our listeners. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and don't forget about that thing you got on your screen.
Yes, I will be playing Archibald Cunningham, foppish rogue, who can definitely hold his own in a fight when he needs to.
Nice.
So happy to join, and this is a mini that I've been working on in Hero Forge right now. And later on, when I switch clothes, if I need to take the wig off, I'll put the other mini up.
Nice, absolutely. We'll happy to see that.
Happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Speaking of, hey, yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Good game.
Good game. I can't slap your ass remotely. But just while you're mentioning that, I am putting the Instagram feeds up on the stream for everybody to do a quick shout out. So Jay, do you want to talk about Sylvester Deadleaf minis?
Oh yes, I am working on painting minis and trying to get better. So you can visit my Sylvester Deadleaf minis on Instagram and check my stuff out. I haven't posted in a while. I need to really start to take advantage of this lockdown stuff and paint some.
Well, you're going out and serving on the front lines.
Yes,
food
man,
service.
butcher by the
Absolutely, man. Butcher in
Good job.
game, butcher by trade. All right, speaking of, I just heard Darcy there, and we're not entirely certain what character you're going to play, Darcy. I think that's going to happen organically. But do you want to just introduce yourself and your drawings and so on?
Yeah, I'm Darcy. You can find me at twitch.tv/DarcyBits, or you can go directly to my Instagram at Bleeds Scratchings, which I think is suitably difficult to parse. So just do the first thing. It's got all my links. In this game, I have played such characters as Henrietta Pedersen and Umbracera Sublinuplina, Ficada Corona Stella Sublinuplina, and Kragg Ghoul, who last session sort of got back home and finished their arc and was like, yeah, I'm just going to stay here for a bit. Although they might show up again later. They need to deal with their dead brother.
Absolutely. That was a fun sequence. So there you go. I just had to put your name back, your tags up there. And let's jump back to see if Darmita's with us yet. Darmita? Hello? We're having some technical difficulties tonight, I think. Oh, there she is. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta get you back on the stream here. I can't hear you. Can you hear us? No? Okay. The joys of doing remote games. So we'll see if we can get her back in the game in a short while. So, between all of us, feel free to dive in. Oh, hey, I heard you. Hello?
Okay. Yes?
Hey, there you are.
Sorry. I'm really lagged from you guys, so I apologize. I'm seeing the lag as it happens. Anyway, I am Bela in real life, and I played Darmita in this campaign, and she is your not-so-friendly neighborhood Gloomstalker rogue, or ranger. Oh my god, I don't even know what I am. And she's a pretty intense creature of habit, and she's had her world kind of shaken the last few episodes with some backstory twists. So yeah, we're gonna see how she is.
So, just for those who need the quick recap, you were a fallen Aasimar, and we got a little bit of backstory into why and how that ended up happening, and you ran into an old man who seemed to know more about your past than you did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And we don't have his name other than Old Man at this point.
Old hermit, old man, crazy.
Because he does not remember his name. He intentionally, broke his own mind or something.
And
those words.
Aasimar do when they're
he chose to fall, and he ended up damaging himself in the process, or literally chopping off his wings.
So I feel like if we as characters want a name for him, we just have to give him one, that's not really an out of character thing, that's an in character thing.
Yeah
Well,
and somewhat lucid moment. He told me a bit about...
Oh, sorry, you're cutting in and out a bit there. I'm not sure why.
It happens.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to go sacrifice a goat seed to the internet gods, see if we can get this thing working. In the meantime, so if you need to reset there, anybody, go ahead. In the meantime...
I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
I just gotta keep switching it.
Okay.
Move on.
All right. Moving on. So, last game, actually going back a ways, they're basically living in a world which is persecuted by a overzealous sect of Pelor called the Eye of Pelor. Sometimes they refer to themselves as the Knights of the Eye of Pelor, and then there's the champion of the Knights of the Eye. Anyway, so most other religions are being suppressed. This is kind of empire extreme, and they are hunting out and just being jerks. And they've been hunting Fenris for a long time, mostly because of some prophecy or his eyes or something to do with this cult that his parents are members of. There's also, when the law is wrong, sometimes people on the wrong side of the law are right. So you've also met...
But probably not. Probably not in this case. No, I'm pretty sure we're just straight up evil.
Yeah,
no, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the brigands. So they met a group of brigands led by a woman named Sara Tellbourne, who is, amongst other things, tasking you with trying to help her in her quest to free her father. So her father's in prison, or at least she thinks so. And she's been trying to get him out. So that's that side story. And, we didn't talk about Johannes and Benkuhm. So, anybody want to take that?
Johannes is played by Levi. He is the least ambiguous in his morals. He knows exactly where he lies, and it's that he is a disciple of Lolth and wants everyone to be as murderous as him, or something like that.
Absolutely.
he's sort of taken it upon himself to corrupt Fenris as much as possible in the name of wealth. But mechanically, he's a bard of swords, bard of blades, whatever that college is called. And he's just like a really flippin' good, like, sort of acrobatics-y, duelist-y type, who takes great joy in his murder. At least that's my interpretation.
Yeah, that's a pretty good interpretation. You know what just jumped into my head when you said that, though? I'm so sorry, but he's a bard and he's a follower of Lolth. So I just have to say, stop in the name of Lolth. I
thought you were going to say he did it for the Lolth, but okay.
Well, that works too. A little more modern. All right.
And Ben.
Hey, I'm a hip kid.
And then we've got Benkuhm.
And I will do my best. If you're watching this, Trent, I'm so sorry. Benkuhm is played by Trent, and he is... I'm a Goliath barbarian, and I'm not so smart, but my best friend Darmita, she gets me into a lot of trouble, so I just, smash.
We've also learned that he is extremely wise, even if
Are
he's
you
not
from
smart.
Scarborough?
Actually, since you asked.
I was impressed. That was actually a pretty good impression. Shout out to Scarborough. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not
Scarborough.
from there, but absolutely.
I am. And so is Trent, to
Nice.
be.
Scarborough Lane.
That's Benkuhm. He follows Darmita.
Very cool. And you guys were members of the same brigand group, and you guys ended up pulled into this. Sorry, whenever I'm talking, it cuts your mic out for some reason. I
had that trouble once.
gotta stop that. I just need to talk less. All right, everybody. We're also using Roll20. We also use Creative Commons music. All that stuff is up on the right. I think that brings us all up to speed. Anybody else have any shout-outs or anything before we get going?
I mean, that's the big recap, but the general premise.
Mm-hmm.
But we do, of course, need to actually recap last session because, of course...
Oh, yeah, Archie wasn't there.
Archie was not there. Well, Archie was there. Jay wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah, I was a shadow. Just there, corporal.
So, if you go back a couple of episodes, there was an ambush down by the river, and
yeah, it was. You're right. It was down by a river.
Yeah, and fortunately for you guys, Archibald had gotten wind of this somehow and saw them and kind of pulled over this wagon that he'd stolen and waited for the opportune moment and then actually drank himself pretty much into a stupor in the back of his wagon and then in the back of his fancy carriage. And then when he saw
he
stuff
had
was
a
going,
carriage crash.
he came riding through a bunch of these knights and crossbowmen and mages and so on. And then they summoned a whole bunch of demons. You guys fought him off. And he got all gross. And you guys got some pretty good loot out of that one. So he's still getting used to his brand new sword. So we'll do that in game 2.
Yeah, we should probably, tell
Hey,
Jay about that.
I did mention it to him. So Jay,
I'm in the know.
So
great.
He drew this longsword, what he thought was a longsword, from way back in the magistrate's house, and it ended about 5 inches past the hilt. And so that wasn't terribly useful, but then once he attuned to it, he figured out he can turn it on, and it is a sunblade, a magical weapon, +2 no less. +2.
I believe it is pronounced lightsaber, actually.
Pretty much. And I gotta say,
We call it a saber of light.
I randomly rolled for it, and I was like, okay, I need a sword. Give me a sword that's not just +1. Come on, give me something interesting. And it came up with Sunblade. I was like, yeah, that's for Jay. Also,
I assumed you just decided on that because it was the home of a magistrate or of the Eye of Bela, which is
that's the thing. There's a weird blend of celestial and demonic and devilish and all kinds of whirlwind of things going on. Go ahead, Jay.
Archibald's like, I'm not going to sell this one.
Nice.
Yet.
It's a bit longer than you're used to, because you're used to a rapier. Actually, it's not longer. If it was a blade, it'd be heavier, but it is a finesse weapon, so you can use it and just spend a bonus action to turn it on, and then or off, and so that should still be pretty good for Duelist Rogue.
Mm-hmm. Does the
After my last session, I broke my rapier anyway. I tried to trail off that thing. So
Yep.
That's
I
right.
am currently swordless.
Not
as
anymore,
well.
you're not. You have a dagger, and you have a sunblade, which
Does,
is a basket hilt, by the way. It's a longsword handle with a cross T, but it does have a basket over the front, sort of like an overgrown rapier. It's like a hand and a half, really.
Okay. It would
Does,
be like a Scottish basket hilt.
Yeah.
Does Archie have the proficiency for that, or not?
Oh yeah. Well, anyone who's
Does
proficient.
it count as a longsword, right?
It counts as a finesse weapon.
Right, but finesse weapon's not a proficiency type.
Anyone who.
So I'm just curious if it's special. If it's not like Mithril armor says, like
No,
you
no.
are proficient with this, for example.
In the
right?
description, it actually anyone who's proficient with longsword or short sword is proficient with.
Okay, great, excellent, perfect, great.
That's
That's
why-
exactly what I wanted to know.
When I saw
Yeah.
it, I was like, "Yep, that's yours."
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure rogues don't get long, but they do get short. So excellent, beautiful, great.
Pardon me. All right, so just at the so you guys ended up going off and making a decision, very wise decision, to go to the brigands and check in. And I think Darmita was trying to drop off the old man so somebody could watch him.
Right.
And
Fenris can be wise sometimes.
yeah, absolutely. And as you guys do that, you see this storm work its way south from where the succubus's lair was and down towards the town, NosOmelet. And Kragg and Johannes went into town, and everyone else went to the brigands, and you guys were dropping off some people you rescued from the succubus. Once you got to the town, and some lore dropped for Kragg, you ended up having a flyby. Literally, this entity in the clouds, mostly hidden by the clouds, but these little sparkles of breaks in the cloud would reveal this kind of almost like seeing a sunbeam just for a second behind an extremely dark cloud, kind of bursting through the clouds in a few random places, plus a bunch of lightning, flew past and broadcast this message that went something a little bit, let me jump over in my sound effects, went something a little bit like this.
Attention, members of the community. We seek the Golden-Eye One. If you are found harboring them, you will be punished. If you turn him in, you will be rewarded. If the Golden-Eyed Man does not turn himself in, our protection for this region will be revoked. And you will surely perish without our support.
Or words to something like that, anyway.
Yeah, go back and watch the other one. I hear it.
Yeah, it did it better the first time, but that's a quick recap. So, you guys don't know about that except for Kragg. You are in the brigand camp.
And Johannes.
Who is neither of whom are, well, depends. Let me know when you want to be... All right, so you guys are in the brigand camp. Go ahead and place your minis wherever you like. I don't know if you guys can see that or if you're in game. We use Roll20, still getting the kinks out, as it were. So let me just place.
What's Sara doing there?
I'm just on my phone, Todd. so
Yeah, I guess I
I'm
should probably delete
No
it.
worries, man.
Because,
No
like,
worries.
I have the control, don't I? Oh no, that's a box.
I don't even see a character for Jay's guy.
Maybe you just dropped the token last time. I don't know.
I think I did.
Darmita.
I'm just gonna make one real fast.
Her.
Oh yeah. Oh, there she is. She's there.
Where?
You just have to drag her down. Pardon, Jay?
Are you level 7?
Level 8.
8? Okay. I gotta level up.
Johannes.
was wondering about that actually. I thought about that the other day and went, "Oh yeah, maybe I should ask." And I
We've
didn't.
been level 8 for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, Jay's been a little busy.
Yeah.
Well, some of the...
Darmita, yeah.
Johannes is on the map as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dragged him earlier. I just didn't have one for
Right.
Jay. I'm just adding that right now. Sorry about all the, the joys of remote games. Oh, come on. Real games kind of go like this, too. Let's be honest. This is the real
Yeah,
table.
I mean, I don't think we need to even worry about being on this map unless we're going to get attacked in camp.
No. That's true, but I want you to have it, too.
Do it when we get attacked, because we're just going to go to a different map. Like, that's just going to happen. And you got to replace yourself. Save yourself the effort.
Absolutely. But, just for the sake of visuals, you guys are all hanging out in the camp with the relatively friendly brigands. Archibald is... Well, actually, what time... we did a little bit before bed last time, but nobody had actually gone to sleep. So is there anything you guys want to do before you sleep?
I went and chased down... what was his name?
Who? No, not who. Zian.
No.
Zian?
One of the brigands.
Yeah. And we were on our way back. I think we had just we had just gotten back. And
Yeah, you had ambushed him.
Yeah.
And I gave him back his stuff and found out some things, and we didn't quite continue from there. And so I was going to when I went to bed, I was going to think about and reflect upon what just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Do some soul searching.
Absolutely. So we'll see what you do with that information. So you guys are at the camp. It's not raining anymore, but it has been, so the air is heavy with moisture. The drips from the forest trees around kind of setting up this nice comforting sound in the background as the darkness comes. There's a watch set by the brigands, so it's generally fairly safe in camp. You've had a chance to talk with Sara Tellbourne, who's asked you to help her to rescue her father from the prison.
I'm gonna practice with that sword a little bit before bed.
Sure thing. So Archibald walks off to the kind of a clearing over to the side. This little gnome
Have a
comes
little
along.
bottle,
Yeah, this little gnome, who's basically their quartermaster, named Leto, comes along with you, and he...
Is he? I disagree with that decision, Sarah.
Well, he's at least their brigand drunk.
Yeah.
So he comes along with you because, he's been giving you liquor. And he's sitting there with a cup almost the size of himself, like almost the size of his torso, like an oversized mug,
Nice.
even for him. And especially ridiculous on a gnome. And you pull out this longsword hilt and will it to come to light.
Oh.
The blade suddenly goes, bursts into flame, not with the standard hum, unless you really want that. That's up to you.
No, I think it would just sort of. I think it must make some kind of noise. I'll have to think about that.
Sure, man.
Maybe standard hum. We'll think of something.
One
It'd
thing's
be like a hiss rather than a hum.
right. It's this crackling sound of like any moisture in the air just evaporating immediately. The blade is literally sunlight. And the entire darkness in the region is just like, oh, and Leto falls over backwards like, oh God, my eyes. Oh.
Is there any way that I can dim it down at all, or is it like?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a
full
wisdom.
blast?
Go ahead and roll a wisdom check.
Mids?
Do you have dice?
Yes, we do. Hold on, sir. 12.
12. All right. So you will it to get dimmer, and it started at about 30 feet worth of brightness in all directions, and then it slowly fades down to about 10 feet of brightness. So anything in your immediate event, you can't seem to force it to get any darker than that, and you try, and then the blade just goes and winks out.
Is it like weighted the same as a sword? You know, when I start to move it around a little bit, does it feel the same, or is it unique because the blade isn't actually there, or is that
Well,
blade add weight?
there's 5 inches of actual blade, and it is heavier than your average, so that it actually does have a decent weight to it. It's got a good balance to it, but it's a lot lighter than your average longsword. If anything, it's probably comparable to a rapier or even a short sword.
I also remember last time I actually played, I got covered in a bunch of stuff. Was I able to clean up?
Yes, you bribed Johannes to prestidigitationally clean, so you are actually cleaner and less shabby than you've been in months.
I have to get him to work on the wagon too.
I don't know if he is mending. Also, he's not here. All right, so after a few swings and some practice in the side, the brigands,
sexy and shirtless too.
the brigands definitely take
Glistening
note
sweat.
of this really bright sword. Oh yeah, Gemini twin. Hey, thanks for joining the game, man. Always welcome to jump in. Gemini in chat just mentioned maybe you can do the opposite. Maybe you can make it brighter. What do you think? You want to give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
All right, roll a wisdom check. Normally it doesn't, but first time out.
Ooh, 13.
13 is enough. You will this thing to get brighter, and it just flares to the original light, and then even a little bit brighter still. I don't have the exact radiuses on that, but it is bright. I'll look it up in my app in a second, but I think it's something like 60 feet of brightness. It is. Yeah, the whole region, all the brigands are now coming out of like tents and rolling over from bedrolls, and even some of the people on watch come scurrying back. They're like, "What's going on?" And Hoot's like, "Hey, what? Hey, where? Who turned on the light? Ah!"
Oh, I'll turn it off.
Okay, whoosh, it winks out, leaving the whole area in just pure darkness again.
Archibald just turns to everybody together and he's just like, "That'll find us, keep us."
Nice. Oh, sorry. The maximum is 30 feet of bright and 30 feet of dim beyond that. So 60 feet of light, quite bright within 30 feet, and then the lowest is 10 feet.
The thing is, Archibald is like, it's very bright, not my usual style. He wears a lilac coat or like bright pink or whatever.
It's a little obvious, don't you think?
Yes, it's like he's like, I may look light on the outside, but I'm definitely dark.
It's okay. You tested against a couple of trees, and the trees just and fall down. This time it's Bela who the ogre who works with the brigands comes walking up. Is like, "Hey, what you do?"
Just playing with my new toy.
Here, I throw, you cut. He picks up one of the trees, snaps it off so it's like a log about 5 feet wide, and he just hucks it at you. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Attack roll. Ooh, that's not the best. With that sword, it's actually... Well, still 14.
13. Okay. Whew. You will the blade into action, and it's actually off for the first few seconds, and then it comes on just as the tree is in range at your point of longa, and it just slices the thing in half, and then you suddenly realize there's no real weight to this. This is sunlight, and the tree keeps coming, and you just barely sidestep as the tree halves fall to either side of you. But I mean, barely. If you'd got a 12 or lower, it was going to hit you.
Oh.
Is it leaving like burn marks through it, or is it doing like radiant damage?
It's radiant.
Fire or radiant?
It's radiant damage.
I wonder what that looks like.
I'm on objects. I'm basically counting it as fire. It's basically a lightsaber.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's just I feel like it would look
just like...
wrong. You'd be like, "That's weird. That's not like it just got burnt through." Yeah, it would be noticeable, even though you probably wouldn't know what to make with it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna sort of hold my hand close to it too, and actually feel if it gives off heat.
You get close and you think it should be burning you, but only at the last inch or so, and it's not heat. I mean, there is a little bit of heat there,
Yeah,
but
you gotta like actually use the blade, right?
but you can
That's
actually.
interesting.
It's more that there's just this presence there, this vibrational energy to it. Do you want to actually touch the blade?
I will touch my middle finger right along, just like where the broad part of the blade would be. You know what I mean? Not on the edge.
On the broad part of the blade?
Just like.
Sure. Here's where I'm going to get a little bit DM-y on this
Yeah, do it.
one. Your hand, it pulses like almost like if you've ever been electrocuted. And
Would have
it
never
just Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, maybe he's been hit by lightning by some wizard in the past. I don't know.
It's more that there's this weird
Trying to
energy
remember.
and this numbness to it. And your finger does touch something and it doesn't move. It's unyielding. But you're just like, that's weird. It doesn't hurt. Like, you don't take damage from touching the broad of the blade here. So it would actually still be possible to, like, thump somebody with the flat of the blade if you really were precise.
Nice.
But it would be really a fine line because it's not where the light is so blinding to actually look at that you can't be too precise, and so your finger actually sinks in a little further than you think it would, and then it comes in contact with this incredibly firm, unyielding force, and it's got that weird vibrational energy to it. You take your finger back, you are unharmed, although your finger still tingles.
Okay.
Do you want to touch the blade?
But I am not going to touch the blade.
All right. Said the
Probably
DM
It's
like
kind of
this.
like
Would you like to touch the sharp part of your sword?
he's like one of the brigands in the crowd is like, buck, 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 and he's like, no, hoot, hoot, rise owl.
And Leto's like, yeah. And who's like, I'm going back up to bed. Oh, God. Keep that thing down. All right, at this point, Darmita and Zian come walking in through the forest. And he looks a little sheepish at a glance. That's kind of a free buy. And Darmita, what do you do once you're back at camp?
Hi. Okay, so can we just retcon a little bit? And I've just come back and met up with Zion, and
Sure.
or
You catch up to him on the edge of camp.
yeah, and I just want to like, I'll do the same thing where I kind of give it back and tell him he's an idiot. You know, he shouldn't be going out alone. Da da da. But I also want to ask him, so because I don't think I did this last time. Where have you been?
Oh, I just went, let off a little bit of steam. It's been really stressful. Did you see that storm? That was insanity.
Yeah, but you didn't tell Sarah you were leaving. She was looking for you. She had no idea where you were.
Oh, didn't I? Oh,
No.
just slipped my mind. Sorry. I just needed a little walk. I mean, he takes a look around to make sure no one else is in earshot. He's like, I mean, you know, sometimes I gotta, test my luck, see if I'm still holding up. And so I just went out to do some games and take it easy. And yeah, I ended up drinking a bit too much and got home a little too late. Again, that storm was insane.
I saw your luck.
Oh, at this point, yeah, he kind of clutches the bag that's over his shoulder. It's a sack, and you remember it. You can almost make out the sound of the jingling pouch of gold and silver. It's a pretty hefty bag of money.
Yeah. I'm going to insight him how he reacts when I say that.
Absolutely.
Ugh, not so good.
All right, and that's including the modifier,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's hard to read. He does gamble often for kind of a living, or at least as a hobby. So he's got a pretty good poker face. It's pretty hard to tell if he's upset by this or if he's being straight. So, what are you doing out in the middle of the night in the forest? Brings a nice girl like you into the middle of a forest.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Oh, that's the best thing I've heard all day.
Well, you know, when I couldn't find you and didn't know where you were, I figured I'd better go look for you.
Well, I appreciate that, but I can take care of myself if it comes to that. Well, usually, you are one quiet lady. I heard something, but I figured it wasn't too serious sneaking up behind you. That, on your 11, you can tell was bravado. You scared the crap out of him. He dropped his gold and ran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was scared snotless.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And it's a lot of gold.
If you had to estimate, it's at least somewhere between 200 and 600 gold, somewhere in there. You only held it for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
And
how long
you
were
did find a piece of paper in there as well. Did you keep the paper or did you put it back in?
I kept it.
Okay.
Oh, I did. I kept that. It was the flyer with Fenris on it.
Yeah, the wanted poster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Gemini. Always love your suggestion, Gemini. Thanks for watching. Gemini says, perhaps the bag may have a symbol or a family crest on it revealed with a decent perception. Well, perhaps. We'll see if she can percept the bag.
Oh God, that's not my best. Survival any day of the week. Perception, not so much.
It couldn't be that different.
13. Oh, they
13?
are very different.
So just at a glance, you don't see anything in particular. One thing you did notice is there was the crest of the Knights of the Eye of Pelor on the wanted poster. So it was an official. It wasn't like a local bounty house shop.
Okay.
You're vaguely familiar with that, being in a brigand group. So
All right.
it's like, or Zian's like, well, I'm starving. You want to grab some grub?
Sure, let's go. I'm going to hang out with him for a while just because I want to get a little bit of a sense, and I'm going to kind of keep pushing, but I'm not going to bring up the flyer.
Absolutely.
One.
Just kind of pick at that thread.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, so now Benkuhm is busy drinking and having a nice time, especially with Bela, who is convinced that he is a wizard. Do another trick. Come on.
For a bird to talk to.
That's right. Do a perception check. Yeah.
Do a perception.
How do I don't remember how to do that.
I don't know what his wisdom modifier is, so I'll just roll a d20, and you can add some obscure number to it.
He was relatively perceptive, so I'm going to say that's probably
Yeah, he had a
high
passive
or something,
perception.
plus 5. So 14. He does not see any birds in the middle of the night. Oh, actually, wait.
Will a bat do?
He does. Sorry, your voice is cutting out. Go ahead.
Was no, it wasn't a raven. What was it? A raven?
It was
Yeah.
a raven. He
Is
does.
it
There also might be owls because it's night.
That's true. He does see a raven roosted not too far up in this tree right here. Just kind of sitting there, perched up, feathers tucked. But he does see that it is awake and occasionally looking around and fluttering its wings. It's pretty surprising he picked that out in the night, but it's down kind of low for a bird.
So he'll sit and he'll have a very intense one-on-one tete-a-tete.
Bird brain to bird brain.
And then 10 minutes, cast that ritual.
All right, so he can now speak with animals after 10 minutes. Go ahead. This is on you, Darmita. You started this party.
Shit. Okay.
Speak in Raven.
Hello? Hey,
Hello.
whoa. Well, what's your name?
My name. My name is Z.
Hi, Zeet. I'm Benkuhm. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Benkuhm.
Where are you from? Are you from here?
He hops down to a lower branch, gets a little closer, and then says, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you."
I believe a lot.
It hops down onto his shoulder and then onto his lap and pecks at his right arm. Gently, not to hurt.
Is that where the
Yeah.
The chain,
thank you.
the devil's chain, literally a chain pulled away from a chain devil and kept as a weapon. It pecks at it and then hops back as the chain responds and starts lashing out towards the raven. He pulls back his arm.
Pretty, huh?
You do not know what it is you carry.
Oh, it's a chain. Stuff. Do you know what it is?
Sorry, I can't do a raven call very well. That's going to have to do.
It's fine. Yeah.
They cough.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
That is a contract.
Oh.
And every time
Chain.
it is, and every time it is used, it gets a little tighter around its user. Be careful with that one. Unless, and it hops forward, takes a good close look. I will call you. What is your name? What should I call you?
Benkuhm.
He pecks pecks his nose just gently, and then sits back. All right, brother Benkuhm. I'll be seeing you.
Oh, you're not leaving, are you? I want to talk.
All right, so they talk for a long time.
By the way, as I was doing that voice, my dog was getting very upset with me.
That's fair. All right, let's jump over to Fenris. Fenris, you've been talking about particulars with Sara for quite some time. Is there anything else you want to try to get from her? You mentioned you want some details about the prison.
Details about the prison, details about the description of her father, Tien. I wanted to know if Alshan was going to be there. And I wanted to know a little bit more about the Inquisitors because, as I mentioned earlier, that I would intend for us to disguise as them. I know from the last session also that when I did go to sleep, I had a dream vision again. And I saw the girl again, who I saw is on that folding boat, and a number of people around her. And then I left it at that with the plot point.
Absolutely. And then you
I
also
was-
had a flashback to one of your times, a happier memory with your father.
Yes, a flashback about going through a door.
A door that he couldn't see. And he told you, oh, if you see more of those, you be sure to let me know.
Right.
You were only like 5 at the time. All right. Anything else tonight, or flash forward to the morning?
I would say that's flash forward.
All right.
Do I get anything else off of my queries from Zian throughout the night, or no?
How about I let you do a persuasion check? Or deception? Like the passively noticing things of insight, not going to work, but you could try to actively nudge it slightly. So we'll represent that with a...
I'll go with the deception.
Sure.
15.
It's not bad. Not bad. There are ways to... I was going to say, there are ways to get advantage on this. I don't want to be crass about it, but you guys did have a relationship. Just saying.
I was going to mention it earlier, that I would exploit.
I'm just saying guys are dumb when they're not thinking with their...
This head.
All right, so you confuse him, and you get advantage, which is already rolled, and as you can see, is a natural 20. So, you guys are in a tent, and or bedrolls actually. You like sleeping outside, and you're kind of off on your own on the side, and it's pretty late and very dark, and he can tell you're still awake, and you guys are just kind of drifting off, and he leans over to you and says, "Look, can we talk?" I've known you a while, and these guys, they're nice and all, and I know Sara trusts them, but we don't know anything about them. We don't owe them anything. This whole area is getting too hot. It's time to move on, and Sara doesn't see it. She's blinded. I'm thinking I should cut out on my own. And I was wondering if you wanted to come with me. Do it. This is your deception is you just stay quiet, which is such a good thing to do in that moment. And he just keeps talking. And he goes on and he says, "Look, I got some money, as you know, and I didn't get a card game. These guys are really wanted, and Ostrin's a prick. I don't like any of those Knights of Pelor people, but if we give them what they want, they'll just leave us alone to live our lives. So I say we give them what they want. And if we profit along the way, like, who cares, right? We don't owe them anything." So, I know you've been closer to them palling around. Maybe there's something I don't know. But to me, it's just money.
She's going to, like, throughout this whole thing, because they were just falling asleep. she's gonna feign off like she's asleep, like she starts falling asleep. So heavier,
Nice.
slower breathing, as if she just kind of knocked out in the mid conversation, but she's still listening to him talk.
And he's just kind of stroking your arm and kind of laying there in the darkness and just kind of waxing poetic about his plans. He's like, yeah, if we can get this money and put some miles behind us, maybe we can go and, you know, maybe I did the right thing. Maybe.
She is trying so hard not to assassinate his ass right now.
Yeah. And he mutters just as he's falling asleep. He mutters, I'm kind of glad they didn't get you too. I didn't want that. But... And he rolls over and he goes to sleep.
Do I pick up that he was the one who sent the ambush to us?
100%.
They almost did get me.
They almost did.
Yeah. He has no idea I was part of that.
And that moment of fear when you first startled him may not have just been you sneaking out of the dark.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. That's what I needed. And I'm going to wait for him to fall asleep. And I'm going to quietly exit.
I was so waiting for you to just stick a dagger in his ear. Okay, no, that's fine.
No,
and cut his throat.
There's better ways to kill him.
Absolutely. All right, so you gather your things, move a little bit away, and with that, we're gonna flash forward to the morning. Actually, if you don't mind, 1 second. The name's not on the screen, but Darcy. Back in town, what does Kragg do? Does he go back, or he was going to leave and go back to his tannery on the edge of town?
Mm-hmm.
He did hear the ultimatum.
Yes.
What do you do?
So the way I described it last time was that whole broadcast was happening. He stopped in the initial when it started, and after a beat he kept walking.
Right.
So he was listening to it as he was walking to his tannery, which I'm sure is far enough that it ended before he got there and he could have turned around. And he has a lot to think about whether or not that has anything to do with him, if it's something he would want to. I don't think there's a moment of him going, well, I should go turn those people in then, clearly. That's not something he's interested in doing. But the message did mention the Golden-Eyed One and his companions. No, he doesn't think of himself as a companion, but he definitely could imagine someone thinking that. So it's more of a defensive thing than a proactive thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's staying aware and, doesn't want to let his guard down, but he's not fleeing or anything. He's just going back to his home, especially because he has to deal with his brother first.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, that. He'll figure out the rest afterwards. Nothing really matters right now.
That's
except for his brother right now.
Sure thing. You've been back.
Are you muted? Okay, no, I hear you. Yep, go ahead.
You've been back at the tannery for not very long, probably only about half an hour. It's dark out, and you hear horse hooves. I imagine. Did you light a torch as you're preparing the body, or
Sure. Right. I mean, I guess I have.
You don't have to. You have dark vision.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Would I bother? I don't know. Probably not.
All right, so you're in the dark and
Probably
you hear horse hooves, even in the dark of night, kind of coming up towards your tannery. And there's a few buildings not too far from your tannery. It's on the edge of town, but pretty far out. But there's a farmstead not too far, and you can hear them. Yes. Oh, can't we just head back? Just shut up. We've almost done the whole town. And then you hear clippity clop as the horses pull up. And he's like, "Is anyone here?" And you can hear the horses just outside your door. Is your door locked, or is it unlocked right now?
It's probably unlocked. Yeah.
Okay. You have enough time, perhaps, to do something about that if you want. You hear them dismount from the horse. And
so I don't really know how a tannery is set up, but I am picturing it like there's sort of a front area, I guess, or something.
Yeah,
but
there's like a...
I'm like basically in the back by like some sort of like
well,
I'm almost imagining
gonna
like
be a
tanks of like stuff that you would like soak the leather in.
Yep,
maybe?
you
I don't know.
soak the leather, you dry the leather, you soak it, make it supple. You've got little bits of studded minor blacksmithy type stuff. There's drying racks all around the front and back. There is kind of a prepping table out back where you would prepare the game and take the skins. You got a couple of those. Probably that's the most likely place to put your brother, and almost out of habit of putting game down, you've just kind of stored him there for now. So you're around back, and you hear this out front, and you hear bang, 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 bang on the front door. Hello? Anyone in there?
I think I just ignore it.
Sergeant, there's no one here. Move on to the next one. And you hear them mount up again. There's probably about 4 or 5 horses in all now that they're a little closer and you're kind of paying closer attention. And they go on down the road to the next farm over.
Great.
All right. We'll see if we see Kragg again later. But for now, unless there's something else you want to do that night, Kragg, other than preparing your brother's body, I'm assuming for burial, not for tanning.
I mean, I was thinking about it, right? I don't know if you could tan a full body and preserve it, but the pitch of the character is that they carry their brother around, and that's not sustainable. But I don't know enough about tanning.
Well, I mean, you can basically taxidermy
but I don't
your
think
brother.
Are you intending to be saying something, Jay, or are you talking to someone else? Probably talking to someone else.
There's a pair of necro pits that they found that were like in.
That's true,
Norway
but there
or
wasn't
something
like meat in those pants.
Yeah. You could wear his necro pants.
I don't want to make a suit out of my brother. That doesn't seem. No.
Okay.
not.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Rubs
I don't
the
know if you
lotion.
could like if you tanned like a whole thing as opposed to a skin, what would happen?
Well, you'd
I don't
have
know enough
to.
about the process.
It would rot. So
There you have
yeah.
it. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to bury him.
All right. You can definitely keep maybe like a cloak. You could skin him. You have the skills.
I could
You
skin
could
him. I
skin
could
him
maybe
and
flay
wear
him
him
and
like
take
a
his
cloak.
skull. All of these seem terrible.
Yeah, that I don't know how. Well,
I
actually,
could go with like a hoodie.
hold on a sec.
I'd make a hoodie.
I'm gonna get you to do a wisdom save.
Ooh, I'm into that. Wisdom saving throw. I'm not looking at the right sheet. I'm looking at 2 different sheets that are not that sheet. Cool.
All right, I'll do this up here.
Wisdom save and throw.
I'll do this here because I'm giving you advantage on this. It's
All right.
it's a throw off. Oh, okay, that's a little.
Boop, boop.
Oh, you win.
I got a 20, but not a natural 20. I got a 19 plus 1.
All right. So, it is up to you. But this really almost alien overpowering voice in the back of your head just whispers for a second, like the worst thoughts
Yeah.
come flooding into your mind, and it has that same timbre as that bone devil that you battled with. And it's
Yeah.
yeah. And it goes something like, hold on, I gotta do the audio thing. This would be great if it was seamless.
Do it. Take his skin and wear it as a trophy. You earned it. It will fuel your anger and make you strong. It will make you. It will make you. It will make you.
I definitely like. What's the word? I'm thinking like stammer, but with my legs. What is the word for that? What the heck just happened in my
Stumble?
brain? Yeah, that's the one.
You do not have to give in to this, by the way. That's what that wisdom save was
And I'm
for.
just like holding my head, and I'm just like, oh, that was a thing in my brain. I don't like that. That's bad.
You're kneeling on the ground, and in one hand is your burst of flaming 12-foot-long lance.
Yeah, I never put that away because I didn't like make the conscious connection between it being like a summoned item. Right?
Earlier on, I said that it had kind of disappeared when you kind of lost focus on it at one point. But it
I
is
don't like that.
definitely there now. So, you do not have to flay your brother.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Decision made. I'm just
Yeah.
here to nudge. All right, back to everybody else.
That
The
was
Probably
next-
take like
Next.
some. There's probably some like token that he has that I'll take with me, right?
Sure.
Like a ring or a necklace or something.
Well, and let's go with the cloak,
To
and,
represent
like his
that
favorite
thing.
hood,
Finger.
so you can still get the
Sure.
drapiness of it.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
All
I like
right,
that.
it is morning. It's a bright, clear day. The kind of day that's like almost too bright. Like the light is just coming down. It's sunny. It's wonderful. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do, everybody?
I am definitely sleeping in the wagon.
Nice. Yeah, you got your fancy wagon. What's the plan?
I wake up from my rest. I was sleeping in the new tent that I've acquired, and I wake up and I prepare plans. And I think that from speaking to Sara, I believe that she was actually going to join us.
She'll go as far as she can. She is almost as wanted as you are, and doesn't have your ability to change your form. But she definitely wants in. You guys prepare the wagon. She outfits you all with basic equipment.
Before, like when he wakes up, I'm standing over him.
Oh, over Zian?
No, over
Over Fenris.
Fenris.
Absolutely.
And I basically, in a hushed voice, tell him everything about Zian.
And what are you telling me?
Basically, I let you know that he sold you, and by proxy, the rest of us out. That ambush was them. He set that up. He got paid probably not as much as we were worth, but I mean, he's an idiot, so he took a pittance of really what we should have been worth if there's a bounty on our head. But
I love how you're more offended by that.
Yeah.
priorities. Gotta have my priorities.
I mean,
Did
you're a
he know
brigand.
that?
What?
Did he know that you were with us? That you were with me?
He made some comment. He was glad that I wasn't a part of it. So I don't know if he knew, but I mean, he knew I was with you. So either he's absolutely stupid or, he's trying to pretend. He's good poker player, you know. I don't know what the truth is. At any rate, we get a deal with him. I'm thinking of letting Sara know because she can't have that kind of shit. He's turning on her too.
So it was just him.
As far as I know. He's thinking of leaving Sara. He's pissed that he thinks they should leave and she doesn't want to. She's got things to do. So,
Brigands.
oh, that music is so creepy. I don't know. It was everything I had not to kill him last night.
If you tell Sara, what do you think she'll do?
Well, I know what I'd want to do. I'd want to make
Make a skin suit out of him. Sorry.
I was going more along the lines of an example.
Sorry, that was a different thing.
Yeah.
Different scene.
That's a good example.
Skin suit is Psycho. This is, the Scarlet Letter.
Fair enough.
Two very different books. But yeah, no. I'd like to believe that she would set an example of him and what we do with traitors. I mean, in this, when we're out here, all we have is each other. When we start turning on each other for coin, it goes against the code. You just don't do that. Otherwise, you're never, safe. So there's nothing, and I understand that we don't know you very well, but he's still turned his back on Benkuhm and I, whether he knew it or not. And had anything happened to Benkuhm, if I had found that out, he wouldn't have survived more than 30 seconds after.
Okay. Well, then I think you need to tell Sara.
All right.
So it only takes
Thank you.
few. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for bringing this to me.
Well, you've had nothing but my back, and you've had Benkuhm's back. And from what I can tell, you've had everybody else's back, so, we're in this together. And I know Sara trusts you. And I trust Sara.
Okay. I'm going to let Darmita leave the tent and go to Sara. I am going to want to hide and actually hide and keep an eye on Xeon. I'm going to stalk him.
All right. I'm going to get you to do a quick stealth roll.
Not bad, not great. 11.
And he rolled a 9. So you beat him by a little bit. There's a few close calls, and it's not necessarily stealth the whole time. Sometimes it's like, oh, you grab a bowl, so you look like you belong here. But for the most part, you're very practiced at moving around without being seen. You've been on your own and on the run for most of your life. He doesn't seem to be up to too much, but you do notice that he's got this bag with him, and he isn't carrying all of his equipment with him, but he definitely doesn't put this thing down. It is wrapped in you can see it's fairly bulky as well. It's like a pack.
Yeah. I can see a bounty or a reward when I think that's what it is.
He's trying to play it cool, but he's definitely like, if he eats and he has to go anywhere, he brings it with him, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Either his belongings to flee, or if he was paid off. But I want to keep an eye. I want to keep an eye on him from hiding.
Sure.
But also because I want to see what will happen. And yeah.
All right. So, Darmita, it doesn't take long to find Sara, and she's just coming out of her tent, and she's getting ready for the day. She's gearing up even more than she usually does, busy kind of organizing supplies and getting some stuff loaded up on the wagon. She's getting some fresh horses to go along with them, so you have 4 on the wagon and 2 outriders. And basically fitted up for days and days of travel, including, you can actually see you've seen this before, her little satchel it's almost like a little chest with a strap, and she opens it up and does a quick count of potions inside and closes it down. Oh, good morning, Darmita.
Hey, Sara, how you doing? How'd you sleep?
Well, I still get the old nerves, even after all these years before a job.
Sara, what... I've been with you for a long time now. It's been a while. I've never asked, and I'm just curious. What's your stance on traitors?
Well, we are brigands. I mean, minor. We don't permit significant problems. There are some idiots like Hoot who, take a pair of boots that don't belong or anything like that. Sometimes they'll dabble into rolling some of the locals for more than I would normally appreciate. I mean, we're brigands, but really I'd much prefer to pluck the richest plum and leave the withered fruit, or even help those who need it.
Well...
Is that what you mean?
That, or... selling one of us, or one of our kind out for coin?
Does this have anything to do with the ambush that Fenris was talking to me about last night?
Mm-hmm. You've been missing somebody.
I have. She's quick as a whip. There's a reason she's the leader. Is this suspicion? Or
No.
is this...
Confirmed. I have my way with him. I tracked him last night. Caught him coming back. Scared the living crap out of him. He dropped his bounty. About 200 to 300 gold. And a wanted poster for Fenris.
200 to
So
300.
when he got back to camp...
He got ripped off. I'm worth more than that.
I would think. But when I got back, I confronted him and asked him where he was. He said he was out gambling. So I, well,
I know.
And he admitted it to me later that night.
She kind of leans in close and says, "Thank you. I don't imagine that was easy for you."
He almost killed me in Benkuhm. Not to mention everybody else.
This kind of behavior we will not tolerate. However, there may be yet more to learn. Let's string this on a little bit longer. But I will have my eye on that one. Actually, both of us. I would like... Are you and Benkuhm, you know these people. Are you willing to come with us as we go into town?
I think that would be for the best.
We have to go the more direct route to get my father out. But I'm gonna need someone in charge. I was thinking of making it Zion. Now I may have to think again.
I won't follow him in.
Oh, he
No.
will not lead the Brigands of Mirwood.
Just one more thing. He's thinking of cutting bait and running.
I always appreciated he was a smart man. I didn't realize he was a traitor as well. All right. I will keep him busy, and I will ring him for some more information. I don't want the others to know quite yet. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have difficulty going into town anyway, and I trust you, now more than ever. You know how much it means to me to get my father. I'll go close to town with you all, and then I'll come back, and I'll deal with Zion. If you want the final, I can leave him for you. I owe you that much at least, and more. Or I can have it taken care of.
I'd appreciate if I can have that honor.
I'll make sure he's not going anywhere. Or more precisely, Billick will.
And another side of Darmita just came out.
We're moral. All right, so she asks you to go in her stead, and you can definitely take Benkuhm on your request. I'm assuming your request. And but she's going to get a little close to town and then circle back and then spring the trap on Zion. She goes and talks to a couple of other brigands, and you guys are all fitted up and ready to go. You guys start making your way into town. Unless there's anything else anyone else wants to do.
So I'm watching Zion. Does anyone else come get me, or am I?
Oh yeah, no. The group comes and gathers together around the fancy carriage. Everybody's all geared up and ready to go. Everybody has had a long rest, and you can take any equipment that you need and load it into the wagon or the 2 extra horses. The old man is going to stay, mostly beside Hoot, who is busy trying to get him to stop dropping things in the oatmeal. The old man is actually comes up to you and tugs on your arm, Fenris. And he opens up his hand, and in his hand is a handful of various stones. I've heard that you're leaving, and I wanted you. He wants you. You must be cautious. And then remember and keep your eyes open, but shade them, hide them. They are your giveaway. They will lead to your downfall, but they are the greatest gift you have as well. What else? Perhaps you should take these. And he forces these stones into his hands. There's a whole bunch of them. Some of them are not gemstones, but they're actually quite nice, and they're polished now. He's been working on them. They've been in a lot of soups and in his mouth and gummed on and so on. And then he wraps them in this handkerchief carefully. He says, "You will see the roses are red, and if you follow them, you're dead." what else? The gold one is barred to me, but no, I wouldn't go there since the gate is closed. The blue will make you have to hold and flutter and paddle your way, and the green, the green is nice. And he holds up this, he takes one back and holds up this beautiful green stone. This is one of my favorites. I spent a good time in here. And he holds it up to his eye. Yes, this was wonderful. These will be your anchors, your stones, your keys, your bricks, your good luck to you, sir.
I'll take the stones and thank you. I'll give them back when we meet again.
Wait. And he reaches into his cheek and pulls out one more that he's been polishing and chewing on. And he offers it up to you, and it's dripping with his saliva. It is a piece of pure black stone.
Like obsidian?
Yeah.
Onyx, yeah.
Not sharp, though. It's rounded.
Okay.
It's a little chipped in one spot. And he passes this over to you and into your other hand. He says, And this way, I hope. This may take you home. Or back again. But if you go, and you see, if you see my marbles, I would love them. Back again, but I don't remember. You understand, yes?
I think so.
Good.
And I'll just take the stones.
All right. So you guys are all geared up and ready to go. The old man also comes up to Darmita at some point and calls her Fenris and says, "My dear Fenris, my dear, what is the name? What is the name? Internet? We need Darmita's mom's name, like right now. Anybody? Name of a fallen angel." Come on.
Deva, that helps.
Yeah, Deva, particularly. Gemini, come on, dude. Anybody in chat?
Gemini.
Names. Come on.
Nashida. Thanks so much. Gemini, you rock. That's a great name.
I like my
Darmita?
name better.
Nostriel?
Yeah.
She was
still really funny to me.
That'll be her last name. That was what she made up when she flashed back to meeting Darmita's mom, meeting Darmita's dad, a brigand in the area, who was like,
Nashida.
Nostriel. All right, thanks so much. I gotta write that down. He comes up to Darmita and then he looks at her and says, Nashida. Darmita. I need you to be careful. For the eye is great and will slaughter us all, as he did your mother. But even were I still my former self, I would not be able to go against it. The eye, for his power, you need to have his... And he says a word, and it doesn't make any sense. And then he tries again, and then a third time, and this time in Celestial, he says, name. And I'm sorry, my dear. I knew it, and I wish that I could give it to you. For all you have done. You and your mother. If you see a piece of me while you are gone. Bring it back. Or take it for yourself. Good luck to you. And may Pelo smile upon you.
I'm just gonna kind of caress his face and...
As soon as you touch him, he just visibly relaxes and calms. Goodbye. I made this for you. He passes you a wad of dough.
I take it.
Like campfire bread.
Mm-hmm.
Badly made. Mostly raw.
Yeah. I'll take it.
It will keep the grumpkins at bay.
Grumpkins.
Okay, and I'll put it in my pouch. I don't know. I don't know what a grumpkin is, so we'll see.
All right. He goes back, and Hoot's like, "Come on, no, give me, no, you're doing it wrong. Come here, old man. You stir the pot." And then Hoot goes and sits and like chews on a stick because he's lazy. All right. You guys are ready to rock and roll. You guys are traveling. Where do you want to go? You want to go straight into the big town? You want to go past NosOmelet on the way? What's
Straight into the big town.
Yeah, the big town, yeah.
And on the way, I'll take a look at the stones just to see if there's anything unusual about them. But
Sure. Roll an Arcana check for me, or Nature.
I will roll Arcana.
Dirty 20. Nice. At first glance, there's nothing magical about these. They are nice. They are worked. They're like very smooth most of the time, but a few jagged edges. And you're kind of just dismissing this. And then at one point, you kind of shake it and you realize each of these stones has one jagged edge to it. Everything else has been relatively smoothed over. It's hard to say, but it's almost like each of these was broken off of something else. I know every stone is broken off, but it's just weird that it's so smooth and weathered, and then one little chip or one little thing about that.
Okay.
Nice. I love it. Thanks, Gemini. Sorry, Gemini's saying the other name, Nostriel, could be the pseudonym she used from after she fell. And anyone else getting death flags from the old man? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So the old man goes off on his own, and you're riding on your wagon. You're moving your way into town. It's a little bit of a travel, probably about half a day, a little more than half a day, and there are gates around this town. And you're going to have to kind of come up with a plan for how are you getting in, how you're not being spotted. Go ahead. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a real short break, and then we'll come back with entering the town. You guys, if you guys want a break, hands up who wants a break. Or you guys, I can just leave the stream running while you plan. All right, I'm gonna pause here. We'll take a quick little break. All right.
Is everybody that, or did you want to plan?
I am going to plan. I have a little plan.
All right. So we'll hear bits and pieces of that plan when we come back. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will be returning in just a few minutes.
Enough time the way we blabber on to get us inside the place anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Totally.
It's true. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I think this is live. Yeah, good. Hi, my name's Tyler, SideQuests Live. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much, Gemini, for your suggestions earlier on. And any other viewers, you're welcome to jump in and make suggestions about our game, influence our game, big time. Always welcome. Just no insta-deaths, okay? Oh, I'm going to have to fix my cameras again because Darmita and Jay keep swapping places. But you know what? That's all good. That's all good. So we are on our way into town. So who... okay, I'm gonna have to fix that.
I guess really, I'd probably be best to do the driving.
Absolutely. So, we're gonna start then with Archibald.
Even though I have shitty animal handling.
So, Archibald,
Yes.
you are driving your wagon, and Benkuhm.
According to the disguise, I think I'm best driving.
So Benkuhm is also disguising himself right next to you, and the idea being he is basically a carbon copy of you, and but a good 1.5 feet tall. Actually, probably almost 2 feet taller. He's almost 7 feet tall. And he's disguised as a human. He's normally a Goliath, so, but he's got that hatted disguise. So he is disguised up next to you at the front of the wagon, and you're driving us in. How do you plan to get through the gates? It's a pretty straight ride most of the way there. There's nothing really in the way.
So
I was going to say, I'm sure it's pretty commonplace anyway. People moving in and out of the ones we go in during the day. We're not going to be too suspicious anyway.
Absolutely. So you end up just kind of flying casual to get in there, and I'm just going to make you do... well, actually, just do a perception check for me.
Everybody?
Anyone who's on the outside. So any outriders or anyone who is up on the top of the wagon. So, by the way, Darcy, for now, if you want to play Benkuhm, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, I've certainly been thinking about it. And then we had that lovely scene where Bela played him, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, we could keep that going.
I'll stand back.
You got a 19 on my perception?
Damn. All right, so you're going through... Okay, Darmita...
Plus whatever his perception mods are.
Absolutely. So that's pretty good. About a 16 and a 19. Both of you take note of a couple extra patrols out this morning. And especially as you guys... You have to skirt NosOmelet on the way through to get into town. So as you're going through, there's a patrol that is riding in your direction. So you can decide to try and go around them or fly out or go past them. It's your call, Jay.
I would say let's just keep riding like nothing's going down.
All right.
Just a regular old day.
As you ride up, as they approach, it's a group of about 6 horseback people on horseback, and they are armored and armed, and they are definitely of the Knights of Pelor, and they come riding up and hold. Have you heard the decree?
No, sir. No, and I'm just like kind of not paying as much attention, but talking to him casually,
Right, you're kind of just slowing, not stopping kind of thing.
Yep.
He's like,
Yep.
I said, hold, sir. And then the other one leans in and goes, do you know who they are? Oh, sorry, Gemini's just chatting. Never liked instant deaths or total party kills. Means that the DM can't torture. Speaking of which, that's exactly what's going to happen to Zian later. Just picture Billick bending limbs till they pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just gonna make him into a little pretzel and carry him around like a suitcase. Anyway, back to the wagon. It is a black lacquered wagon, and it is got on the side emblazoned the Eye of Pelor symbol on the side of your black wagon. And so as this first guy was giving you a hard time, another one looks at the wagon, then looks up at you, and rides up close and starts slapping the other guy on the shoulders like, hey, do you know who this is? You can't, no, this is high ranking, you can't, they have to go through. Just, go on. Sorry for the inconvenience, my lord. The way is yours. If you go and, we're just sorry I did not mean any offense or anything.
What is your name, sir?
I can get you to roll
Intimidation.
Intimidation.
I got lots of that. Another
Yeah, I
19?
got you. I know that's your best.
19? I'm sorry, my lord. My name is Beric.
Ah, the Baron. I know your family. I am writing your name down, sir, and your superiors will hear about this. Stop this embarrassment. I mean, can you see the people looking, treating us like common thieves or criminals?
No, my
Your
lord.
superiors will hear about this.
That was never my intent, my lord. I'm so sorry. We were just tasked with having to gather up one member of every family. That's all.
Data.
I'm sorry. Okay, you keep on going. You guys all managed to hear that exchange. All right. You guys keep on keeping. Oh, who else? Who's on the horses? The outrider horses.
I'm inside.
I'm inside the carriage as well. And I think Sara is. I think the three of us are inside.
Right. Okay, so actually they're just tethered along the side then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so that's it. So you guys keep on riding into town.
Do you want to, like, before we go, do you want to stop at, like, the local tavern there and just see if there's any rumors or anything? Or just keep going?
It's your call.
Yeah,
Anybody
I mean, we could try to get some intel before, a little bit of intel before we go in, but I mean, the intent is, you know, the plan would be we're going to disguise ourselves. I'll disguise myself as an inquisitor, for example, and we're just going to waltz right into the prison and find out where Tien is, and we will act like we know what we're doing. He's a prisoner for questioning, and we're going to take him with us.
Actually, I do have forged documents too as part of my charlatan background, so I'm gonna
start forging.
You know, if I let my partner take the reins there, I'll start making what looks like sort of like a transfer order.
Prisoner transfer. Excellent.
Absolutely. And you actually have something that looks relatively correct in the form of an old pardon that wasn't quite sealed.
We had like I also like raided and took a bunch of papers out of his desk anyway.
Absolutely.
You did.
So you actually find a prisoner transfer file, so you just change a few names, no problem. Super easy.
Excellent.
Yeah, this should be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
All right. Benkuhm has been pretty happy. The beginning of the trip, he's got a little raven that's been fluttering around near him and hopping around on the back of the wagon.
Do I recognize this raven?
You do, Fenris. You know exactly what this raven is. And Darcy, I don't know if you...
Really? You just recognize a raven? You can't recognize a raven. Good luck.
The raven.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know.
Yeah. And you would know too, Darcy, just for fun, would you mind being that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, there you go. Just to make sure you got a body in the room, and I changed the name already. Benkuhm also spends a few minutes talking with the horses on the ride, so he's able to be like, left, right, stop. So he's having a grand old time up there. And Archibald busy forging up some documents. You guys, do you want to do your...
wobbly.
Yeah. Do you guys want to... you drink a little more and it gets steadier. Speaking of which, you said you wanted to check out like the rumor mill, maybe check an inn or something. Did you want to do that in the big town? Or in the small town on the way there? You're just outside. You're basically on the far side of NosOmelet. You're like 15 minutes away from the gate.
I think we've got like pretty much the ultimate plan going here.
All right.
Yeah, like we don't want to dally too much. Like we might check on some news in the big town, but
Let's get some takeout.
Yeah, like just see if there's anything weird going on that we might want to know before we step in it. But I think we're on a mission, so.
All right. Zeet.
Anybody want me to get some buffalo wings or anything like that?
Zeet, you get a message. You know about a few things, and you flutter away for a little while, and you come back, and you can see the center of NosOmelet as you guys pass it, and you notice a gathering of people at the entrance, a large gathering. It looks like 100, maybe more people, gathered at the center of NosOmelet around the central inn, and they're kind of hemmed in, and there's people in steel plates, in steel plate and so on, kind of corralling the crowd, and they're going into the inn in groups of about 40 or 50. Is there anything you're just flying over top? You're about a 5-minute flight from the rest of the wagon.
You said I got a message?
I was going to say that, but I'm not entirely certain what Levi is going to do when he makes his decision about offers made. I'm going to probably say he took it, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. So let's just work around that for now. You might know a little bit more about what Johannes knows right now.
Right.
We'll leave that up to Levi for later. But in the moment, this is what you definitely see with your own eyes in Raven form.
Okay. I don't think I care about any of that unless there's a reason I should.
Not too
that
much.
You want me to think about that I'm not getting.
No, I'm just chopping that down to see if okay. It's probably a good idea that if you're trying to be subtle, not to go to the place with hundreds of people. So you guys may have dodged a bullet there. All right. So you guys... Sorry, what's that, Jay?
I was going to say subtlety is not usually our best feature.
Yeah, roll with it. Keep going. I don't want to interrupt subtlety. So you guys carry on, and you come up to the outside gates of the city. Jay, I'm going to have to get you to do a deception check or persuasion check or something. And I'm going to get Darmita to roll for Benkuhm as well. Or Benkuhm could give advantage. Actually, I'm going to make you roll, Darmita, to see deception on his point. Just to see
I got
what
a
Benkuhm...
9 on my deception check.
Rolling like garbage. That's a 10.
You know what? Yeah, that's those are bad rolls. So as you ride up, the guard at the gate, it's a big double tower gate with a moat and a classic medieval village.
It was a good plan.
Yeah, you guys come when it's your turn in this short queue to get into the city. They don't seem to be stopping people for long. They're just kind of taking a look at people and then waving them through. As you guys roll up, the one guard just kind of starts waving you through, and then the other one on the other side, who's sitting in there like a little watchtower type hut with like a door and just a place to get out of the rain, busy eating a sandwich, looks up, sees the carriage go by, comes walking back out. Your passive perceptions pick up that a few seconds later, the guard who initially waved you past has had a word from this other guard who was eating a sandwich and looked up, and he's excuse me, can you halt?
Cast disguise self as an inquisitor.
All right.
From inside.
Absolutely. The two guards walk up, one on either side of the wagon, and they seem to be taking a very close look. This thing has been damaged a little bit, scratched in places, got some mud on it, definitely a little bit roughed up and hammered with a giant maul on the driver's seat. So there's definitely some damage. And they both take this in and give you guys a really thorough look.
I stick my head out and I look at them and I say, "We have important business. What is the problem here?"
Well, sorry, sir. I don't mean any disrespect, but we've been told to keep an eye out for any carriages fitting this description.
This is a carriage that was stolen by fugitives, and we recently took it back in a fight, as you can see, and I point to the damage taken. It's a bit worse for wear, but we have reclaimed it for the Eye of Pelor.
I'm going to let you roll a deception check. Or persuasion, because that's pretty cool. No, that's deception still.
Yeah, sure.
That was good. I almost want to give you advantage, but I'm too nice. I'm not going to do that.
23.
Nice.
Huh. I see the hunting has been good then. And
It has.
may the eye smile upon you.
And you too.
I trust you're on to see Lieutenant Herons. He looks back at you.
Actually, I am here to head to the prison. There's a prisoner transfer that we must conduct.
Ah, yes. I'm going to count this as part of your 23. By skirting that question, he'd fed you a wrong name, just to see how you would react. But you skirted the question.
That's because
and his suspicion
I know
falls
who Magistrate Heron is.
Yeah. Exactly. So carry on. And
Hey, perhaps you could take us off your blacklist while you're at it. Let people know that if they see a sort of damaged wagon around town, that it's okay. Take us off the list.
do a persuasion check for me, Jay. With advantage.
With advantage?
Yep.
Well, that makes 23 as well.
And this one, the more stoic one, just kind of gives a nod, and the other one, who seems a little sheepish, kind of goes, "Of course, sir, right away."
You actually know a shop around town that we can take and have it fixed up?
Oh yes, Reginald's carriages, down off 3rd and Bleecker.
All right, and you go over there. You tell them to charge it to our account.
As it is, as you will, sir. That their billing is up to them. I have people to vet.
We'll come back later and do that. We got to do this prisoner transfer thing first. But anyway, get word out. You need this thing pimped.
Of course.
We're talking like fine, super duper good interior.
Do you know your? Well, of course you know your way. Do you need the original guard who was more suspicious? Comes up and says, "Would you like an escort?"
No.
No, driver, take us to the prison. We have business to conduct.
Sorry, sir.
Fix the carriage later.
Sorry.
Clippity cloppity clippity. Off you go. You guys are in the city. You guys are in the city. We need a city name. If anybody wants to drop that internet
name. Just a note. I don't know if you had seen it. I did drop a disguise self as a noble human woman.
Nice.
Earlier, when we kind of came across the first kind of guard post that sort of started to stop us. How long has it been since then?
Oh, it's only been, that initial guard was maybe 15 minutes back. So you're only 15 minutes in at this point.
Okay.
I think we better
keep track of.
Absolutely.
Let me know when I need to recast.
Absolutely. All right, so you guys
I think we better make sure that we have a cover story.
Yeah.
Too,
So I turned to Sara while we're in the wagon, since she and I were doing a lot of the planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I know that you want to be cautious, and you may only want to approach up to a certain point. But I've been thinking last night, we could always pretend that you're a prisoner. If you want to go
we need to have a reason that we're driving this fancy wagon. That's the thing. Like if we're doing prisoner transfers and stuff like that, we're sending the good bride. This means that this guy that we're taking out is probably somebody who's innocent or something like that anyway, or somebody who knows something. There's got to be a reason for us to be for such a huge
I was thinking
influential figure.
It is.
I was It would be more about trying to smoke out Sara. Because they know he's Sarah's father.
Right, but what we could say is that we have Sara and that she has important information that we can leverage out of her. And so we need her father to get that leverage.
Yeah.
That is very convincing.
That is. Yeah.
So are you willing to do a little gamble?
I have lived this long, free, by trusting my instincts. That... You're asking me to put a noose around my neck. But nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Right, then.
I suppose I'm asking you to risk a lot. It's only fair that I do as well. All right, this had better work.
Okay.
She holds up her hands.
Yeah, I smile a bit and I shackle them. Give her a wink.
Of course you have these. Of course.
And I slip her the key.
Thank you. She tucks it into her cheek. All right. You guys, sorry, on Roll20, I'm going to make you hop a little bit. Just, it's a map thing. So if you see maps loading, that's why. So, you guys pull up, you drive right past the magistrate's office. It is a prison. Well, it's the garrison under which is also a subterranean prison.
I guess.
I'm gonna ride right up.
Yep, and I'll just pretend like that as well as I'm a driver. I'm security too, so they'll let me probably walk in the weapons and everything.
Absolutely. So, Sara also gives you her weapons.
We'll
I
sort of
hand them to
hide them.
Darmita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep these safe, I whisper.
And mine are all disguised because
Mhm.
it's part of my disguise. I just look like I have a big
Like a walking stick.
or something. Like I've got a period like dress on.
Yep.
That's, you know, what girls wore.
Absolutely. You're looking very noble.
Not what Darmita would.
Suffrage.
Actually, at this point, Benkuhm leans in, all like gangly, 6'8" of him or more, leans in and is like, "Hey, Darmita, you clean up good. Take care of you. In there, I got your back. Boat, 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 boat."
Had to get a boat in. Had to.
So I'm wearing the wizard's robes, inquisitor's robes.
Absolutely.
And I have the staff. I have the spell book. I have I have plenty of amulets that I've
And
taken.
with your
You have the prisoner
disguise,
transfer paper too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do. So, and with your disguise, you can easily have the robes and all of that are. Actually, you have extra robes anyway.
I do.
Of
And,
many
this would
people you've
include-
killed.
Yes. Well, 2 inquisitors, but one's burnt. The other one is fine. And so having those and disguising my eyes to make myself look like that inquisitor vaguely.
Absolutely.
The one. And I'm gonna lead the way
All
with
right.
my prisoner.
So you guys pull up outside the prison. This is a prison. By the way, these are from, I think, Neutral Party was the map maker. So shout out to them for the map, supporting them on Patreon and so on. So definitely got to show the love to them and also recommend them. They do great work. So you guys are outside of this garrison. I don't believe any of you have ever been here before, but you've seen it at a distance. You pull up outside. It is an impressive and intimidating structure. Probably three stories high are the walls around the outside. Well, 2.5 really. so they're kind of quite tall walls, and guards pacing back and forth along the top of the crenellation. Here, there's kind of an entry house and processing center, and then you enter through there. You can see there are 4 towers, one on each corner, and you don't see any taller buildings on the inside. Salem Rock. Nice. This is Gemini. Thanks very much, Salem Rock.
Salem
Figured
Rock
since
prison.
I'm reading mostly for our podcast listeners. So Gemini Twin recommends Salem Rock is the name of the town. Figured since it has ghosts there, and maybe it's got a history against witches, wizards, and other assorted sorcery, sounds like a perfect place for the Eye of Pellar to set up shop. Thanks very much, Gemini. Loving it. And any other viewers you're welcome to jump into. All right, so welcome to Salem Rock. You are just outside the prison, and you pull up, and there's one guard on the door, just kind of standing there as you walk up. If you all want to place your characters down here in the entry hall, if you let them, they'll take your horses and guide them around to the side to a small stable. That's this thatched roof place right here, just kind of a wagon house. And if you can all place
they can get fed and watered.
Exactly. So, and tended by some of the more tame prisoners, and guards watching them carefully.
There might be some like warden or something like that wants to schmooze, so we'll have to try to avoid that kind of shit.
So what you're actually looking at is the very top of the building, but there is a tower at the front and then a gateway. Now this platform that leads across, you saw it on the way up, with a dry moat running around the outside. This platform is actually on the second floor. It is, the third floor. It is a drawbridgey thing, but up on the third floor of the gatehouse.
Okay. I am going to exit and take Sara.
Sure.
And
Benkuhm is flanking you like a guard.
like a guard, and march her in to get processed.
I am also flanking.
I am curious, as the noblewoman, what is my role here? Why would I be here?
Why would you be
What's
here?
your motivation?
What's my motivation? That's up to you guys.
Better be real. It better be real.
As you suddenly dawns on you as you get out of the carriage and you start
Just pretend
walking
you're
forward.
like a fanboy. You're some rich prison fanboy woman who just gets like excited to be in the prison because it's like a place you're not supposed to be.
Archibald
think-
is whispering,
donor.
having a whispered conversation with Darmita back and forth as you approach the
You're like
front of the prison.
a donor. You're a high class donor who donates to the eye.
I get off on seeing people tortured because it's
He's been very bad. He's been very, very bad.
those days it was commonplace for nobles to enjoy.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
They handled death a lot differently. They were surrounded by death all the time. You know what I mean? We hide from it. Back in those days, it was like
It was
dropped every fucking second.
Yep.
public.
Any age, whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So as you guys, you're nodding furiously along as Archibald and you plan, and the door opens up and out walk these, the first guard kind of summons another one, and they walk him. Hello, state your business here.
I have a prisoner, and I have a transfer of another prisoner.
Right. I'm going to need your paperwork.
I hand him over the prisoner transfer for Tien. And I motion to Sara and say, "This is Sara Tellbourne, a wanted brigand. We're here to intern her, but she also has a relative in here, and we wanted to perform some questioning." And I look at him intently.
I'm going to get you to roll deception. You have the paperwork, so you have advantage.
Okay.
Most definitely.
21. I'm glad I have first roll.
Nice. All right. Sure. We will summon the warden. Send them in.
Damn it.
Okay.
I have to take a quick little break, my kids and stuff, so I'll be right back, guys, as you enter the prison.
Okay.
Sorry. Leaving you on a
worries.
bit of a cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right. Sorry about that, guys.
Full of the brigands before we left.
Yeah.
I think they're meant to round him up.
Yep.
Sorry about that,
So-
guys. It was, kids.
It's okay. I was introducing Archie to Archibald.
Archie to Archie.
I don't. Oh, the dog. I was kind of hiding behind one of the. Nice.
He's kind of like Archie, too.
There you go.
He is-
You now have a familiar. All right, you
You
guys.
know who my familiar is.
Oh, absolutely. Your little kitty cat. Good old
I've-
one-eyed Jack.
Cat. He is so cute.
All right, so you guys have just entered the prison. You're kind of in a processing room. You see, low benches around and a desk at the back, and there's only one other guard in here at the moment, and there's a large staircase kind of making its switchback way up to the upper level, and there's a couple of kind of plain, tattered clothes wearing people, just like one or two of them kind of shuffling around near the stable side, and there's an entrance off to the stable on your left. You see this guard kind of look up, and the other one motions over and says, "They're to meet the warden." And
Damn it.
and this guard comes walking up and is like, "Oh, okay, sure. Hi,
I
everybody."
knew he was coming. Kermit the guard.
Archibald, you've seen this guard
Yeah.
before. He
Here's the
might
thing.
recognize you.
I will do a plot point here and say that Archibald didn't really want to say anything to anybody, but he's done a little time here. At this prison.
Nice. I did not see that coming. All right, so you've done some. So you actually know your way around a little bit. So this is processing, and then you go across. There is a meeting room on this level for like a lieutenant, but then to actually go talk to the warden, you have to cross into the prison. There are bars everywhere.
I
You're
might
gonna
just please don't be the same warden as last time I was here.
absolutely. So.
Hi, I'm Kermit the Guard. You please come with me.
I'm gonna make him do a perception check. With a 12. Not particularly perceptive, doesn't seem to take a close look at Archibald.
I mean, he is a rather distinctive fellow.
That's true, unless you've disguised yourself any further.
I'm just gonna call him on it. I'm gonna be like, "Yes, Kermit, it's me. I've gone on the straight and narrow now, and I've gotten myself a good job. You know I'm really good with a sword."
Now, he doesn't know you from your time in the prison. At least, not that you know of. He recognizes you from when you rode out of town drunk off your skunk in that fancy wagon that you just rolled up in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Kermit the Guard was there. Yep.
Oh,
They've hired me as their driver.
that's great to hear. Good to hear. I was actually demoted to this area after
Oh,
that incident with you and wait, was it you in the wagon, or so they got your
No,
wagon
fool.
after you?
I interrupt. No, fool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We took this
I'm on the
wagon
clock.
back. Be quiet, driver.
Of course. Right away. Let me take you up.
Take us up. We need to get going now.
Can you do an intimidation check for me, Fenris?
Oh boy.
Zeet, you have pretty easy access to the prison if you choose, in Raven form, just up and over the walls. Or do you want to go in with Benkuhm?
Oh boy. Nat 2025.
Oh, all right, I'll take you up right away. He takes you guys straight upstairs. There's Benkuhm just sniffs the air. Is like, someone farted.
I just
Way to go,
stare at
Todd.
him intensely as I follow him.
He definitely let a little trickle of pee go. Definitely. I mean, not
Yeah.
obviously. He's not standing in a puddle per se, but he is definitely cowed. Not going to ask any more questions on that front. You've thoroughly flummoxed him. Okay, there's my Kermit the Frog impression. All right, so you guys go up to the next floor. They lower the trellis or the whatever they are, portcullises, and hike up these giant bars and stuff. It is thoroughly like hard to get in and out of this prison. You guys go across this little walkway and are now just on the north end, in that first tower. They bring you down and into, down and along, kind of along here. And I'll just grab Benkuhm and you guys can kind of follow him. How's that sound?
Okay. Do I notice anything as we're traveling along here? Anything untoward, or is it just a prison?
You notice that it seems busy. Like, you look out over the wall and there's quite a few prisoners milling about. You see the gallows, not currently inhabited up here, but they are there ready to be used. You also do notice that there are several stockades. They're not on the map, but you can see the stockades kind of out right along this area, and they are all full. There's a couple of rough and tumble looking people and one kind of bookish looking, very small person, child something, way down here, just underneath this stair, like little platform. There are prisoners milling about within there, probably a good 30, at least 30, 40 prisoners kind of walking around, well guarded. They're generally chained together. They're just out for a bit of a walk. It is a lot. Well, you guys don't know. You've never been here before, but it's busier than it was normally. So they bring you inside this little hut here and inside the prison. So I'm going to flip maps for a sec here.
Okay.
You're in it now. It's all right. Roll 20's giving me a little trouble here.
All right.
So they take you down some stairs. There's it's basically a carbon copy of this, but above. And so they bring you down and through some stairs down in the far corner. So if you want to grab your minis, I'll just drop Benkuhm as kind of the guide. So you guys they bring you through there and down these stairs and bring you out towards the warden's office.
And is this Warden Alstrand?
This would be, let me check my notes. Hey, internet, you want to give me a name?
This isn't Lord Alstrand, is it, or is it him?
It's his brother.
He's not always in the prison.
The brother works for CNN.
It's also a garrison, so they do have lots of soldiers here as well.
Yes, this is hopefully, like I was saying before, the smoothest D&D ever, where we don't actually alert the prisoners.
Well, we'll see.
Or the prison guards, sorry. We'll just have to cause a riot.
All right. Well, there's plenty of people milling about. They are chained together in groups of about 10, and they each have a guard or two with them in that center courtyard. You know this because they lead you out and along through the walls, along this way. If you want to follow Benkuhm there, or I can just drag you guys. And around. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Should study my maps more. They bring you out this door into the courtyard and walk you past. There is all kinds. You see dragonborns, you see elves, you see humans and halflings. In this corner on the left side, you can actually see the stockades, and there's a couple of kind of town drunk looking folks. There's a half-orc, and there's also a gnome, and she looks the most out of place. She looks kind of bookish and totally humiliated, and every once in a while the guards come by and leer, and a couple of people like spit in particular on her. The other ones they're not paying much attention to. So there's an older bookish looking gnome in the stockades right here.
I say, guard Kermit.
Yes.
And I point to, it seems busier here than since last I've been here.
Oh.
And I point to the stockades and the people, and what is up with that? And I point towards the gnome.
Oh, well, you see, they were rounding up people for interrogation in several villages, and anyone who well, you know this is what you were doing, but I would now presume, as you know, my lord, we've been collecting more people and interrogating out in the villages and within the town, and you do your inquisitor mind-ready thing that I think you're doing to me right now, and if anyone has seen any activity, we're rounded up here, so we've got people from all around the region, rounded up in the various levels. We're practically bursting at the seams. And Gladys here, well, she's one of ours. I suppose you've been out for a bit. Almost a fortnight ago. She and a few others were, well, perhaps not exactly aiding and abetting, but certainly aiding and abetting some escapees.
Escapees, you say? I have been out for some time hunting, and I point to Sara, this bandit.
Well,
what escapees are you talking about?
Well, they're lost in the catacombs, so no doubt they're dead by now. But they apparently tricked a few people, and they fled, and they were foolish, and they fled down into the catacombs, and no doubt the ghosts have got them, or they're lost, or eaten by the creatures that live down there. But anyway, Gladys here was seen talking with them, and she didn't raise the alarm, and so they're making an example of her.
Well done, guard. You have passed the test.
I kind of dropped Kermit's voice there, sorry. Gemini, Warden Dalen, thank you. It's also strange, but despite so many people and torches, it also seems colder than what it was outside. Is that normal? Love it, definitely. So it is cool. The sun in the courtyard it's that kind of sun right about now, actually, where it's bright and sunny and you expect it to be warm, but when you go outside, it's just chilling you to the bone. You take little to no comfort in the light. So Kermit the guard guides you over towards this door, and he if you don't mind, just wait here a moment. I'll announce you.
Very well.
And on our map, we are missing a couple of people. So, hey, Darcy, I think I gave you control of Archibald's character. So if you don't mind just keeping the token in the right spot.
Oh, I didn't actually. Are they on the map, or do I need to drag them on?
If you could drag them on, that'd be great.
That's fine.
So Kermit the guard raps on this large wooden door. There's a long wait. And then the door opens. And out walks this commanding woman. Yes? She's in half plate, kind of short, a little above shoulder length, graying hair, a a serious no nonsense. Like, it looks like she was chiseled out of stone. Not literally, she is human, but she looks extremely stern. A little bit stocky, nicely dressed though. She's got the elements of Half-Blade, but in a kind of more of a comfort way. It's more ornamental than battle, and she's definitely wearing her gambeson and tabard over top are that give her indicator rank amongst the Eye of Pelor. And she looks up. Yes, Kermit the God? That's really hard to say with a straight face. These people have a request for a prisoner transfer. He doesn't know who to be more frightened of right now, Fenris or Warden Dalen. May I return to my post? Yes. Dismissed. She looks at you, then a little bit, not suspicious, but a little curious at the nobles, or the driver and the noblewoman. Then she looks at the Inquisitor. I'm just gonna roll a d20, mostly just to scare the fuck out of all of you.
I'm not scared.
You should not be. Come in. And she seems to pay a certain amount of respect to Fenris in his guise as an Inquisitor. Welcome. I'm sorry about the. I'm lacking very many chairs. There's a couple of stools tucked into one corner if you want to have a seat. She goes around, and it's not her anymore, but who cares? It's on a map. And you all can go into her small, but somewhat well acclimatized or accoutremated office.
Yeah. I motion for the noblewoman and the rider to sit, and I stand next to the prisoner, and I hold holding the prisoner's shackles.
Ah, yes. I see you've brought us someone. Do enlighten me.
I've captured the brigand leader, Sara Tellbourne. And I know that her father is a resident of this abode.
You don't say. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Great. Good. Do you have the paperwork?
So I hand over the piece of paper, and I mention our intention is to question her using her father as leverage. That's why we've brought her straight here.
We've been more busy than usual. I don't know if I can give you very long with a room, but an Inquisitor chamber can be arranged.
I nod to her. I don't think it'll take that long.
I'm gonna roll deception on Sarah's part. She looks adequately cowed. Benkuhm kind of standing right next to her, pincered between the others. All right. You can do this. However, why are they here? She points at Darmita and Archibald.
They played a small part in her capture and have asked to be present. So I've decided to grant them this boon.
Unusual. But the eye's business is the eye's business. I'll have someone more competent than that idiot bring you down. And you. She looks at Sara. Welcome to Salem Rock Prison.
Can I incite her for when we mention Sarah's father
Sure.
to see if she knows whether he's there or not? Because out of game we know,
Yeah, go ahead.
but
Yep. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I want to see if we're getting played here. Just gotta get to my core. Insight.
Roll.
No, that wasn't
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Oh boy.
That
Did
is
not-
a natural 1.
Yeah, you.
I don't know shit.
You are taking your lead off of Sara Tellbourne. It's going smooth.
Damn it.
When do I know this Warden Dalen? Being
You
so
would.
warden.
You can go ahead and roll a history check if you like.
Sure. I haven't rolled history in a long time. Okay.
Remember.
Yeah, 13.
You've never met Warden Dalen. You know that she. You know that the prison has different layers of bureaucracy, and being both a prison and a fortress with guards in it. So, likely, she's the prison side, not the kind of army side of things. But beyond that, you don't really know anything else. You've never encountered her before. You've been trying to avoid prisons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Archibald, go ahead and roll history with advantage.
If he was a year to age. $18.
All right, you definitely know Warden Dalen. She
Oh.
was.
Do I?
So I'm gonna ask you to. Here's the trick. How do you want to get past this? She hasn't been paying much attention. I see you moved yourself to the corner to kind of just stand beside Sara
Yeah,
Tellbourne.
I'm really just somebody like her. I'm pretending that I was hoping that I would just be like your bodyguard there or something like that. That might have easy to slip by, but
Sure.
I'm
Do you
just
want to
going
try
to
and play
try
it
my-
like hopefully she doesn't see you, or you're gonna try and
that's right.
con?
I mean, I'm gonna try to even like in way of her perception or something like that. I'll kind of stand in behind and.
You're
give her
doing
a-
your dandy kind of. I'm hiding, but I'm in plain sight.
Sort of thing. And that's exactly it. Like,
Okay,
and I'm trying to command her
gonna fly
attention.
casual, Yeah.
Yeah, and her attention
I mean, there's
is
a very important person in the room.
so. Yep, and that seems to have gotten you this far. Go ahead and do a stealth check for me, even though you're not. It's just trying to draw as little attention as you can to yourself. I'll actually let you choose stealth or deception.
Well, if I took stealth, it would be like 26. So
All right. So every time she turns, you happen to be like looking at the
I just know
person.
what angle to do. Yeah. Just
It's like that video game where you can
Just
see the
enough
guard
so we have,
eyes,
like, an
like
imbalance.
little
Yeah.
little track of where they're looking. So when they're facing away, you can be like, and then when they're
I
facing
don't
you,
want to
you duck
look
behind.
obvious, but
No.
obviously with a 26, I'm not obvious.
You're actually incredibly subtle about it.
getting an Academy Award here.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you wipe your nose at the right moment. Raise
Yeah, I
a
also
menu.
have like my handkerchief that I carry around. with me.
Raise your menu. Raise your menu in front of your face at the right moment. That sort of thing. All right. So you know what? I made you roll, so she does get a roll for you though. All right. So she goes ahead and here's Gemini with the thing. Gemini, thank you so much. She has a tendency to be more hands-on than the other wardens. Archibald can see the bloodied instruments of torture behind her on that desk. Just there's a book
and one of the drawers, as Archibald's just kind of keeping busy, looks in a drawer and sees this like gory, bloodied instrument. She'd been cleaning them just before they entered, so she's got a twisted side to her. And Archie, you would know this, having been in this prison. She has a reputation for being devious and brutal. Like, the Inquisitors are bad, but she's bad as well. They tend to get the rep, but she's the one who keeps the wheels on.
Did I see the bloody instruments as well? Did all of
I
us?
think only... You can go ahead and do a perception check to see.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just actually being very. I'm looking, but I'm also mainly focused on her. So, just trying to see if there's any sense of the jig is up.
Sure.
Um.
Well, wait. Do you want to do insight or perception? You can do one or the other.
I will do perception.
Okay.
Because I'm mainly just trying to see if there's anything amiss. 16.
She seems... Well, because you're doing perception, which isn't reading her body language so much, she appears to be in a bit of a hurry. Kind of glances back at that drawer and looks mildly irritated, but she doesn't seem to be in any way wound up.
Okay.
She just had a relaxing torture session.
Exactly. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet in my world, apparently. But she's definitely... You can actually just make out. Actually, with a 16... You look past this little book, and there is a picture frame slightly out of place behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just make out a tiny... It's almost like... something had bumped it recently. And it just seems odd. Everything else in here has its place, except this picture frame. Just a little bit off.
Glory hole, glory hole.
Alright. So.
Did she leave the room?
No, she's waiting for you to leave. Can I do anything else for you?
No, that is fine.
Then stop wasting my time. She reaches over, rings a little bell. In a few minutes, another fairly strapping, pretty good, like, fit guy, but not overly so, kind of plain-looking human who comes in, armored and standard guard. She looks, Pauldron, yes, they need to go down to Inquisitor room. Flips their book for a second. Inquisitor room 3. Make it happen. He looks a little uncomfortable and says, of course. Come with me. And he leads you out of the room.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are on your way out and down. So he takes you through...
This may be a good place to wrap it up pretty soon.
That's true, actually. So you guys kind of lead out and around through past a processing center, and at each stage of the way, as you go through barred doors with thick, heavy iron bars. Pauldron having to dig out a set of keys and walk you through. You do notice as you go past on the way out of her office, there is a fancier office just over here. As you walk by, that no one is in currently. You only get a glimpse at it through like a little opening in the window, just for some fresh air. He leads you out and around, up here, and down a flight of stairs into the prison proper. At each step, you pass guards. You pass the booking center where they say, right, we're going to need your weapons. No weapons in the prison.
Okay. I'm gonna give him up for sure.
Sorry, what was that, Jay?
I'll give up my weapon for sure. I won't play any sort of game of
just so you know, it would actually be fairly easy to, like, you'd never be able to
Hide,
smuggle
yeah.
a longsword in. But this thing's just a hilt. It could hide. It's a basket hilt, mind you.
I think that I don't want to risk losing the team to that.
Okay.
I think it's best to go for it.
All right.
Just hand over my weapons, make everybody look good, make look like we're all legit.
Benkuhm
no problem.
begrudgingly gives up his massive maul, seeing Jay's lead.
I actually
kind of tucks at his wrist for a minute and smiles. He keeps his shield. They let you keep a shield if you want.
Okay.
As Bela mentioned previously, disguise self, that changes your equipment, does it?
It can appear to, so long as people don't touch it.
Yeah, so her weapons are disguised.
I don't think that he'd want... I don't know if the hat works exactly like the spell, but I don't think that he'd want to give up his... if he could pass it off.
That's fair. He could pass it off.
Like, he's not here to defend himself, so I think I'm going to.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Darcy's correct.
Yeah, that's true. So anyone with disguised self can be carrying these things, which means, Jay, if you want to pass it to somebody who can disguise it.
Like, I think Darmita can hold on. Darmita's holding on to a bunch of the weapons with her disguise self.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Disguise it as a pair of gloves.
Well, sure, you just disguise it on your hip as a pair of gloves and it doesn't bash into things.
I'm picturing Darmita with, like, a parasol. That's like...
Parasol and...
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
Yeah.
All right, so
Don't turn it on.
After you leave things at processing, there's you guys go down into the prison proper. The clanging of the gates behind you as you are locked into the prison of Salem Rock, and that I think is where we're gonna stop.
Prison episode.
You are in.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Because I just have a bad feeling.
A whole lot of that soap dropping.
What?
Darmita is a very untrusting person. We all know that.
The problem is we have to, like, act in character, and we're, like, trying to break her dad out of character. We know his dad. The dad isn't there, so it's like, oh.
Yep.
Into a trap, and he's not even there.
See, what's interesting is, you guys are actually doing a good job of not giving away that you know he's not there.
Yeah. You know that I know.
And I appreciate it. In fact, Gord, I really appreciate that you even set that trap for yourself and walked right into it, so I appreciate that. All right, this is how it's done, folks. And I'm sorry, Darcy. We should have got you a character somehow, but if you want to be a prisoner at some point, you let me know.
I mean, that went 0% how I was expecting it to, from what we planned. So that's cool.
I kind of got a little sidetracked there, so we might...
I did not expect Sara to be here at all.
I didn't either.
Extremely surprised to me.
But when Gord mentioned that and made such a good case for it, I didn't count it as a plot point, but I was kind of like, you know what? You kind of convinced me that this is the best plan of action. To, like,
Do you mean the bringing her as bait?
Yeah, bring her as bait.
I didn't even think she would have been there when that scene happened. I was like, why is she still with us? Before he even mentioned that stuff.
Well, it's true, but she was going to get into town with you and be nearby, but not right inside. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't think she was going into town. I was just like, she's wanted in town. Why would she go in there?
Yeah,
I thought she was just going as far as the edges, but not that that's actually relevant to what I was talking about before anyway. It's just happened to... Anyway,
though,
it was a cool session. It was a cool session.
Sorry to not have much for you to do, but yeah, feel free to jump in as
honestly, it's the kind of session that is this slow. We're all trying to maintain disguises, so even if I was somebody, I'd be like, well, I just stand there quietly, so I don't think it would have changed much.
That's fair.
Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play Benkuhm if there's anything for him to say, but it's not going to say anything. He's just going to be quiet,
Second session, no combat.
All right, Gemini is still making the suggestions in the game. Everybody wants to keep going. I know that you gotta go. I gotta go too. But this is Gemini for the podcast. I would like to think that when they get down there into the prison proper, the colder it gets, they can notice that the guards are wearing heavier cloaks and their breaths are frosting in the air. I love it, and it's canon. It is creepy as F down here.
Yeah.
And
It's a cold ass prison where they eat gruel.
sorry, you guys are kind of talking over each other. It's getting a little chewy. Can you say that again?
Archie.
Go, no, you go.
I was just gonna shout out to Gemini for naming my mom. I like it, and I appreciate
it's a good name. Yep. Thanks so much, and the town, and all the suggestions. It's wonderful. And thank you all for playing today. And we'll pick up.
She had something to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Archie being Jay.
Well, I can't even remember now.
That's how I feel half the time. All right, so thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll be. We've had a prison break in episode. What was that? Episode 1. And now in episode 14, we have a prison break back in.
I think that was episode 3 or 4, but sure.
Something like that. So we will see where this
goes. It was right
goes.
after Hen left because you wanted to follow that line for a bit.
Yeah. So thanks very much, everybody, and we will see you next week with something. Actually, before everybody goes, if anybody wants to stick around for a few seconds, I want to just mention what's going on in NosOmelet.
Sure.
Mostly for the viewers, but if you don't want to know, you can. If you gotta go, you can go. So thanks very much, Jay.
Love you all. Take care.
Take care, Jay. Good to see you.
See you, Jay.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, we can do this next session as well if you prefer, for Levi and for Kragg. We'll do this as a kind of step out. Oh, faces got all weird. Hold on.
Yeah.
As people leave, I
We need
forget
fifth
that.
frame. Yeah.
So, NosOmelet is busy rounding up people, some of whom are being shipped off here. Cut to the scene where you see Bill and what's her name again? Betty?
Yeah, Betty and Beth apparently are the same name, which I did not realize previously. So, either one.
Bill turns to Betty and says, "Look, one of us has to go. I think it should be me." As I slip slowly in towards an approximate accent. Darcy?
I don't have a full context of what's happening. One of us has to go.
You guys are sitting, Betty and Bill are sitting in the kitchen. The kids have gone upstairs to rest. They got a guest room.
Kids.
No, but it was the first building, so you guys are sheltering them tonight, and in the morning, I think
that makes sense.
I think in the morning we'll take them back to your sisters, but they should get some rest, get some shut eye. And that the fella who came back with them, what's his name, Johannes or whatever. I think we'll put him up for the night, and in the morning we'll get him the rest of his money from Mayor Kessler. But at that point, the guards have come and gone with the message that one member from each family must go to the inn in NosOmelet. So it really should be me, I think. I mean, I'm the head of the household and all. But do you think we could?
You gotta hold down the farm. Let me do this.
Look, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
I don't roll stats for this character. Are you kidding me?
I thought you had her statted up.
I don't roll stats until I get to an actual thing.
Well, you're gonna stat her up now.
Again. Do I do this again? Is that right? That's not 20. Get Rex.
Nice. She is used to manipulating her husband. But I'm the man of the house, but so I guess I should stay here and keep the house and farm running. You all go on down and see if Mayor Kessler needs anything, but the moment anything happens, little missy, you let me know. I'll be there. Alright, so...
Ain't nothing's gonna happen. It's all talk and bluster, you know that.
Yeah. Fancy talking words.
Well,
All them guards keeping me like a little bit nervous is all. Especially after that weird talking in my head. Did you heard that too, right? That Johannes
shudders a bit, just like, yeah, I heard that. What do you make of that noise?
Well, I mean the Golden Eyes. That there Fenris guy had them, and I don't know. I mean, Johannes ain't particular mentioned, and he seems content to be in the guest room today too, or sleeping on the couch downstairs, sorry. I'm tired. Been up a bunch. But you just be careful, alright? Don't mention nothing about us talking to that golden-eyed boy. I mean, I don't know what it is. I do kind of like him, but I don't want to get in any trouble.
We got nothing to say. Everything will be fine.
And
like go up and just like, holding them by the shoulders, just looking them in the eyes, just real close.
All right. You always know best. You always take care of me. I appreciate it. You done took good care of your sister while she was losing her mind about her idiot son. What do you think? They looked a bit worse for wear.
They did. Must have been awful being out there for so long. Took longer than I expected, honestly.
And that Kara, she seemed to get quite tight-lipped when I asked how it all went. Toby was mentioned something about some attack and creatures. And the boy was always, 2 bales shy, but it's gotten out of hand. All I wanted was that idiot nephew back. Anyway, so in the morning, do you think you need to head now or in the morning?
I mean, I don't know. They're rounding people up. What does that mean? They're rounding people. It sounds like they're taking us now. Is that what you're saying? I don't know.
They said as soon as you can, go report to the inn. 1 member from each family.
Oh. Yeah, I think probably, depending what the timeline is, now makes sense.
It's pretty late.
Probably head over sooner than later. Oh, okay.
It's like quite late. Yeah. Morning. It's like 2 in the morning, yeah.
Yeah. Head out in the morning.
All right. Why don't you all take this? I want you to take it. I don't know, something's giving me the haybees. He reaches under the bed and pulls out a case, puts it up on the bed, clicks it open, raises it up. All the way from Western. Didn't think I'd be... I don't know. You just hold on to it. I'm real nervous. Here, he turns it to you. In it is a pistol. And ammunition.
Dang! That's how I'm coming.
You know that his brother had it from his time in the service overseas. And in different parts, not overseas, but in other parts of the kingdom. You do know how to use it, if you want. It's up to you. I'm not here to tell your character what to do, but I'm letting you know that that is an option.
Is this like his brother's pistol, or is this like a pistol that they were able to get?
This was his brother's pistol at one point. His brother also gave them a rifle, which you know that Bill keeps in a closet up here. And this is basically, Matthew Mercer's world, so pistols and guns are very rare, but they do exist. And we're talking, they can be tricky, they can be complicated, but they have that, they came out about 30 years ago onto the scene as a thing, and so those who can afford them do have access to them. Generally, they're still considered quite rare, though, but it's possible to get them in major cities, and especially in the military. And his brother was military, so that's where he got his, and he gave them or willed them to his brother, which now you have access to a pistol if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, she's gonna say something like, I can't take that.
I got the big one.
You it's not about that. I mean, it's your brother's pistol.
Look, I taught you how to use it just like he taught me. If anything goes down, I don't want you in there with nothing but a little stick to a little pointy jabber. That you gotta be able to defend yourself. But you let me know. I'm not gonna make
If I go into a situation with a weapon, someone's gonna get hurt, and it's gonna be me.
That's right. But if you get into a situation where you need one and you don't have it, anyway, we'll talk about it more in the morning.
I'll take a couple tools that are inconspicuous. How about that?
All right, we'll talk more in the morning. They blow out the candlelight, bed down for the night. In the morning, you have an appointment with some Eye of Pelor knights. And with that, we're going to stop. All right, sorry, Darcy. Just figured I'd give a little quick throw over to that. We never talked about that as a possibility, but that is a possibility in this world. So.
No, we didn't.
I
thought it was
you don't have to
very
answer
funny.
now whether
there
she
was
does
a few
or not.
different take the pistol, you mean? Yeah. I just think it was really funny how there was this potential for there to be another party where we got Kragg, Betty, and Johannes, and they become their own party.
Hey man, it may yet do
these
that.
different things.
You never know.
Yeah.
We've done it before. All right, thanks, Darmita, for sticking in, and Gord and Darcy. Figured I'd give a little attention over to one of Darcy's possible. Hope I didn't play my hand too soon there, Darcy. And thanks very much, listeners.
Honestly, when you introduced Gladys, I thought that was you sticking one of my characters in a stocks, and I was
we can hand wave that. Really?
Oh, it's Gladys! Gladys is great. It was very funny. I was like, really? You're gonna just do that?
I saw it. Hey,
she
was
Gladys.
seen talking to the prisoners. Yeah. Anyway,
I know, and I'm so glad that considering Gladys got put in stocks, I'm so glad Pauldron is fine. Yeah.
Well, Pauldron got knocked out at his own request, and
I know. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still playing Hen in my heart. Honestly, I'm still playing Hen in my heart.
That's
it's yay! That's my friend.
We'll get back to them eventually, maybe. All right. Thanks very much for hanging in for the long haul. This has been a bit of bonus time. We're gonna call it there. Hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be safe. Stay home if you can, please. And we got this thing. Play some games, breathe, and take care. All right. We'll see everybody soon.
Nice. Have a night.
All right. Good night.
So Todd,
Oh, sorry. Am I still on this? Should I stop the stream?
Yeah, stop the stream.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll go to this.
We're interested. We're curious.
You've been listening to SideQuests Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons and Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the games. Dungeons and Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games. And again, we are not affiliated with them, and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game, and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. All right, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuests Live. We'll see you again soon.